Are you looking for all the best info on puppy raising? You have come to the right place. On my channel, we have so many videos about crate training and potty training and so many other topics. And if you think that's great, you should check out the online course, 30 Days to Puppy Perfection. But the videos in the course all tell you what to do and how to do it. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the what not to do. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Now, be sure to hit that thumbs up to let me know you're watching and the subscribe button so you never miss another important puppy training lesson. Puppies learn from positive reinforcement, so we mainly focus on teaching them what to do. It works great with humans too, but your brain can think a little more critically than your puppy's. So we are going to dig into the what not to do as well. I think you can handle it, and you're going to learn a lot. Let's dive into the puppy raising myths and mistakes owners make. All right, the first one on the list, things will get better with time. Oh, only if. Time heals all wounds, right? No, not so much, especially not with puppies. If we see an unwanted behavior and hope that time will fix it naturally, it will usually only get worse with time. Even for things like potty training that rely partly on the puppy body developing and growing. If we don't do the training, we will still see accidents. If you need more help on puppy potty training and some free resources to help speed things along, grab the free new puppy starter kit from the description below the video. Next up, what about the pulling on the leash? Maybe you think that if you get another harness, your puppy's pulling on the leash will just get better. Maybe a little, but not much. Bottom line, behavior will get better with time and tools, but mostly training. Next up, fully trained at a young age. All right, how many times have you heard, my puppy's 10 weeks old and completely potty trained and knows sit and down and stay and shake and come? Yeah, I've got some news for you. He really doesn't. As he grows, he will become more independent and less compliant, unless you work on training. Distractions will increase and his ability to do those things will decrease. Puppies are learning and growing all throughout their lives, but definitely the first year. You'll have to teach them and practice and practice and practice to really be able to boast about their obedience. Skills are like a muscle. They need to be worked out if you don't want to lose them. Expecting a 10-week-old puppy to learn the skills and then never deviate from them no matter what the environment just isn't realistic. It may seem like your puppy knows their stuff, but try asking for those same commands in a different environment, say outside, and you're likely to get less than stellar results. This is because the different stimuli and distractions in that environment can draw your pup's attention away. And ultimately, their impulse control isn't quite developed yet. It would be like asking an infant not to put their hands in their mouth, or any other object in their hand, for that matter. Virtually impossible, right? All right, next on the list, the my puppy knows this mentality. Now, we often think our dogs know more than they do, or we assume that he knows it but isn't doing it when we ask out of spite or some other human emotion. Dogs are not that complicated. If he knew what you expected and was sufficiently motivated to do it, he would do it. We don't feel that dogs are stubborn or difficult. Puppies seem as if they refuse to do things because, number one, they easily get confused, especially if you're verbally saying one thing and your hands and your body posture are saying something completely different. Number two, lack of motivation, especially if there are other higher level distractions present. Number three, not enough reinforcement. If you're not constantly reinforcing for the right behaviors, it's likely that your dog is not going to continue to do those things that you like because you didn't put enough value on the things he was doing well. In our student group, we actually run a challenge every so often called the #50 challenge. The goal is to go through 50 pieces of kibble in a day, using them to reinforce all the right behaviors you want to see over and over again from your dog. We use kibble from their meals so we aren't overfeeding them. The more you capture all the good behaviors, the more your dog will repeat them. All right, number 4, flooded with information or overstimulated. It's up to us as humans to figure out what's going on and how to approach the situation differently. We often see owners claiming their dog is refusing to go for a walk. They just pancake or lay down out on the walk and refuse to move. Typically, a younger pup will do this as a default behavior when they don't know what else to do. The environment is overwhelming for them and they can't handle any more stimuli. If you think about it, the whole world is new to puppies. Sights and sounds and smells and textures can all be a lot to handle at once. Humans are so used to all these things. The trucks passing by or the sirens blasting or the wind blowing have all been a part of our lives for several years. To a puppy, these things can be way too much, all at once. Okay, moving on. I often hear, I can teach him not to jump or bark or pull later. Later? What? Reinforcement builds behavior. The more your puppy does something now with some sort of reinforcement, the stronger the behavior will be. So, this one isn't really a myth, it's a choice you can make. You can choose to save some skills and teach them at some other time, ignoring the unwanted behavior for now. I don't recommend it though. The longer a dog is able to practice the unwanted behavior, the harder it will be to train him to do something completely different. Dogs get reinforcement for what they do, even if you don't realize it. Things like eye contact, verbal cues, petting, access to things our dogs want. These can all be forms of reinforcement, just like the traditional good boy or treats. So do yourself a favor. When you first see the unwanted behavior crop up, take some time to teach your puppy what to do instead. You'll be glad you did. Don't get into the habit of thinking, oh, that behavior is so cute. We can fix that later. Think about your dog as an adult dog. Do you want your adult dog jumping on guests, chewing on your shoes, pulling you down the street? Okay, this next one frustrates me a little, and I used to offer this service. I don't any longer. Here's what I hear. I'll just send him away to a 2-week training program and he'll come back well trained. Actually, this one isn't so much of a myth. You might be able to do this, or it might take a little longer than 2 weeks, but the point is, your puppy will come back well trained with another trainer. Dogs don't generalize, and respect isn't transferable. So all the things the trainer worked on with your dog, you have to learn and work on them too. I used to run board and train programs, so I can understand the value of this type of training to so many people. But I can tell you that it's a much better option to enlist the help of a certified trainer and do the work with your own dog. That's really the whole reason I created the online puppy training program called 30 Days to Puppy Perfection. The best thing you can do is learn to train your dog yourself so you and your dog bond together and build a relationship together. You'll learn the best way to work with your dog. Okay, this one also frustrates me a tad bit too. Here we go. I hear this way more than the last one. I got a dog to be my therapy dog. This could be true, but not all dogs can be trained to make a good therapy dog. Sometimes their temperament is just too far off from what we would need to make a great therapy dog. Dogs that will be trained to enter nursing homes or sit with kids in Reading with Rover programs, they need to have just the right temperament and personality. Also, I think all too often people mix up therapy dog and service dog. Did you know that service dogs are oftentimes specifically bred with the right temperament for the task they are about to be trained to do? And even then, a lot of them don't make it into the program because they just aren't right for the job. A service dog is trained to do work or perform tasks for a person with a disability. Service dogs are protected under the Americans with Disability Act, or ADA, giving them public access rights. A therapy dog is trained to provide affection and comfort to people in hospitals, retirement homes, nursing homes, schools, hospitals, and disaster areas. Therapy dogs are not service animals and are not offered the same privileges. Now, you can definitely work hard to train your dog to perform a specific role, but you also have to observe the temperament to see if it's the right fit for what you're wanting. Let's take my dog Pickles, for example. He's a King Charles Cavalier. They are known to have great temperaments. They are loving, affectionate, and fast learners. I worked with a reputable breeder and picked Pickles with the intent to train him to be a therapy dog. He definitely meets all the criteria needed to be a good therapy dog, but his energy level goes from 0 to 100 in about 1.5 seconds. He vibrates with excitement and he can't sit still with other people around. He loves people, but he would not be a good therapy dog. He would not be very calm or relaxing for anyone. I recognize that in him, and I have not pursued the therapy route with him. Maybe, as he matures, he will settle down. Time will tell. But the point is, so many people pick up a dog and forget to put their expectations in check, or take into account the dog might not be the right fit for the role they want their dog to be in. How about this one? I will give a dog to my kid to learn responsibility. Well, you're right there. Dogs are a lot of responsibility, but it's not fair to the kid or the dog to put such high expectations on a child who is still learning, no matter what age they are. A dog is a sentient being with likes and dislikes. They aren't one of those electronic pets that you can feed with a quick push of a button. They have needs that may not be convenient, and they need a lot of time that may be overwhelming for a child. Children and dogs can live together so nicely and really add value to each other's lives. But do yourself and your kid a favor and make sure it's a family pet, not a heavy burden that ends in a pet needing a rehome. For more info on kids and dogs, check out this great video here. I also think kids mean well, but miscommunicate with dogs all the time. What I mean by this is the kids, typically under 10, have a tougher time sitting still, keeping their hands and arms close to their body, and keeping their tone neutral instead of squeals and higher pitches. These are all things that can send a dog into an excitable biting frenzy. The dog often gets blamed and is unsure what they really did wrong. After all, they were just following movement and tone. Kids move more sporadically and with less purpose than adults. Puppies interpret these movements as invites to jump and nip and play. Okay, if you've ever thought this or heard this next one, pay close attention. I want my dog to be a well-socialized dog so I can take him to the dog park every day. Okay, well, you're half right. It is important that our puppies get the right amount of socialization, especially early in their lives. But we don't love dog parks. Unfortunately, too many owners bring inappropriate dogs to the dog park. Now, these dogs tend to start fights, whether they mean to or not. Many people don't follow the rules about leaving food and toys and kids under 10 out of the park. The dogs then fight over these resources and the kids get scratched and knocked down. Many people don't know how to read canine body language and misinterpret the signals that their dogs are giving off. They brush off the signals, which puts their dog, as well as others, in danger. Too many people bring sick dogs with kennel cough or contagious warts to the dog park as well. People bring their high-energy, revved-up dog that's been in a crate all day to the dog park, which can lead to an altercation. Instead of going to the dog park, I would suggest you find a friend with a dog that's about the same size and temperament to have a good first playdate experience with. There have been far too many cases of dogs being negatively affected for life because of a negative experience at the dog park. Check out this video here for the right way to socialize your dog. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some really good dog parks out there, but not for your pup's first encounter with other dogs. Not before they are properly socialized prior to attending a dog park. Certainly not before they're fully vaccinated either. And most definitely, not before you have a good amount of training under your collar. So when it comes time for you to call your dog to come, you get the results you need. Now don't worry, we do cover recall or come command games in the course. The link is below in the description. Now, I'm gonna have to say that this next one makes my blood boil. My old dog, blind dog, needed a friend, so I brought him home a puppy. As our dogs age, it can be tempting to get them a friend or even to make the transition easier for you. But it's important to consider the needs of your existing pet before you bring a new one home. Is your older golden retriever a big sleeper? Likes to snooze and maybe is getting a little more achy moving around? Do you think he would enjoy a young, energetic puppy who nips and wants to play all day long? It might be a nice pairing, but it could also just make your older dog more miserable. Now, I'm not saying not to do it, but definitely evaluate if it's the right time for your existing pets. I get calls all the time that the new puppy isn't getting along with the older dog and they need it fixed ASAP. When a few questions are asked, it usually turns out that the older dog either already had some behavior issues that weren't addressed early on, or has some medical issues that were causing pain and discomfort, and the puppy is making things worse. I do wish that people would allow their older, arthritic dog to live out the remaining time they have in comfort and in peace. I hate to hear people say that they got a puppy because their old dog will pass soon and they wanted to have the older dog teach the puppy a few things before they go. This breaks my heart. While I'm on a rant of things I don't like, here's one that also makes me cringe. To correct my puppy, I will swat at him with a newspaper or spray him with some water. Nope, nope, and also nopety nope. While these things may serve as a quick fix, they affect the welfare of the animal and lead to some serious behavioral issues in the long run. Gaining an animal's trust and building a common language between the two different species, human and canine, is like building a bank account. We make deposits into the trust account, one positive interaction at a time. Alternatively, we make negative withdrawals with negative interactions, such as threats, force, and punish. It's far better to teach the dog what we want him to do instead, and focus on shaping and rewarding that right behavior. I've got 5 more mistakes or myths I want to share with you, but before I do, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when the next video goes live. Next up, the common yet misinformed pee pad excuse. I don't want to take him outside when it's cold, so I will train him to pee on pads in the winter months. Dogs don't have the same critical thinking skills as humans. They can't reason and say, oh, I'll go potty outside except for November to March, and then when it's raining or cold, and then I'll just go potty inside, only on this small square that is also great for a chew toy. Sorry, we wish they could think like that, but they can't. Now, we want to teach our puppies to be like the Postal Service and do their business in the rain and sleet and snow and anything else. This will come down to desensitizing of those scary things. That means going out in the rain or creating rain with a hose and making a positive association with it. No matter the weather, we definitely don't recommend pee pads. And you can find a great alternative in this video about a grassy patch that works better for you instead. Okay, I always get backlash for the next one, but hear me out on this. So often I hear, I want to teach my dog to shake and high five and roll over, and I'm going to teach all the fun party tricks first. Puppies are so cute when they can lift their paw and shake, am I right? But did you know that these skills that you teach early on will be the strongest? It's the skill they will default to when they aren't sure what else to do. Do you really want your 85-pound lab to paw at you repeatedly when he wants your attention? That could really hurt. So stick to the skills that add value to other skills, like sit and down and focus and leave it. After your puppy has the great obedience skills down, then you can do the fun ones to show off to your guests. If you teach the party tricks ahead of the obedience, the party tricks will be their strongest skills, while their manners and impulse control will be lacking. Think of your puppy's brain like a triangle. We want to fill the base with the foundation skills. The base is the strongest and can support all the rest of the skills later on. If your base is made up of attention-seeking behaviors, you're likely to have a lifetime of begging, pawing, barking, rolling over instead of sitting and waiting calmly for attention. I've gone into many homes where the dogs needed to learn to stop pawing at guests while sitting at the table. Every single one of those cases started with the owners who taught their dogs shake, give your paw, or high five. Okay, moving on. How about this one? I thought he needed a playmate, so I bought another puppy. His litter mate. Uh-oh. 2 dogs sounds like it would be good company for both of them. And less work for you, right? Nope. In fact, many of the students of our course who have 2 dogs report that it's more than twice the work. After all, they can't train themselves. This would be like having twin toddlers and thinking they can work together to get through kindergarten. That is not likely to happen, unless you've done extensive research on training 2 puppies at once and are fully aware of the responsibilities of having 2 puppies of approximately the same age. I would just avoid this scenario. Okay, next up. This one is a little tough, but needs to be addressed. Our family is a little more free-willing, so we don't want to have a schedule for our puppy. I get it. Who wants to be tied down? What if a fun invitation comes and you want to take advantage of it? How will your friends judge you if you say, I can't, I have to stay home with the dog? Yeah, we don't mean you have to always stick to the schedule, but a schedule really will help your puppy adjust to your home. And it will definitely help you in the areas of potty training and crate training and obedience skills. Puppies thrive on consistency and can learn quickly when there's a routine. In the beginning, during the potty training days, it's practical and a must to stick to a schedule, as this is how your pup learns to hold their bladder longer and longer. Without a schedule, you can bet your pup's system won't be regulated very well, and pup will be confused about when and where to go. And you'll be frustrated cleaning up all the accidents and more accidents. Okay, last up. Here's the one that just baffles me sometimes. You ready? I work long shifts, so I'm gonna leave my puppy in the backyard so he can have space to play while I'm gone. I have a lot of people who think that giving their puppy a little extra room to run around while they're gone is a good thing. In fact, it's not. The best place for your puppy while you're gone is in the crate where they can rest and relax. The amount of trouble your puppy can get into in your absence is astounding. Digging holes in the backyard, chewing lawn furniture, trying to escape, eating mulch, mushrooms, or toxic plants. And unfortunately, puppy theft is on the rise, big time. People go around looking for loose dogs in the yard and steal them and sell them, or worse. If you want to come home to a canine companion that you love, please don't leave them unattended in your yard. If they did eat something they shouldn't, you wouldn't know until it's too late, and then they become sick, and then they need emergency vet care. Remember, puppies can only hold their bladder about 1 to 2 hours per month of age. Even as an adult dog, you never want to leave your puppy in their crate for longer than 8 hours. You try holding your bladder for that long. It starts to hurt and feel uncomfortable. If you can't make it home, at the very least, hire someone who can come around and walk your dog. Take them out to go potty and give them much needed human interaction. Now, if you need more help on helping your puppy settle in their crate, check out this video here. I think I've told you enough of what not to do. So, what should you do instead? Well, there's a very long list and I have plenty of things on it. But to start, you can check out the free New Puppy Starter Kit or attend the free Better Puppy Behavior Workshop. Now, both of those links are in the description below this video. And if you're really ready to dig into puppy training and do all the right things, you'd love the online course. That's also in the description below too. In the comments below, tell me one thing you learned from this video.